All right, so today's question of the day comes from future Airman Ashley. I didn't want to say the last name, which is the proper way, but I didn't want to say the last name because I didn't really know how to pronounce it. And last week I butchered future Sailor Dermer's last name, and I feel bad, so I didn't want to make that same mistake. And so future Airman Ashley asks, why did I pick Navy above all other branches? Now, looking back, and I'll take you through the thought process of how I chose Navy. Looking back, it was more of a spontaneous emotional decision. Okay, so going back to November 10th of 2014, when I was sitting down in my school's library, I said to myself, when nothing goes right, go left, right? So I was a business major doing a lot of business things, and I was very stressed, and I said, all right, let me look at something that I never thought about doing before, and that was the military life. And at that moment in my life, my brother was in the Army, and my cousin was in the Air Force, and they're still in them. And so, I kind of automatically thought about the Navy because, I didn't want to be the same branch because I thought, that's so boring, right? Let's be different. And so, at the same time, when I thought about the military, I always associated the military life with the sea, with the ocean being the ship. Maybe it's too much Family Guy. Because if you ever see like Family Guy, you see Stewie's flashbacks. He's always in the ship with he's like a captain, and there's a bunch of sailors working around, and Stewie's dancing and singing. Maybe it's too much Family Guy. I don't know. But when I thought about the military, I thought about the Navy. So that was the spontaneous emotional decision that I made within 5 minutes when I thought about the military. All right, my brother's in the Army, my cousin's in the Air Force. When I think about the military, I think about the Navy. So let's go with Navy. So I made the decision real quick early on, and I didn't really do a lot of research, which is a part that I wish I kind of did. At the same time, if you're wondering why didn't I think of Marines, I didn't really know what they did. I just knew they had cool uniforms, and that was it. And so, and I also looked at the death statistics, which branch has the highest death rate. And, Army and Marines, if you could imagine that they train and go to war, they have the highest death statistics, and our Air Force and the Navy have one of the lowest death statistics. So that kind of reaffirmed my decision. I don't want to die, right? And so moving on, further down, I was also talking with a 20-year Army veteran, and he even recommended, if you're going to join the military, I recommend Air Force number 1, Navy number 2, Army number 3, and Marines number 4. And I said, why? And his reasoning was, Air Force and Navy, it's more of what you know than, bronze. Army and Marines, they're more of bronze, muscles and all that kind of being threatening and going to war, fighting, all that kind of stuff. And to give you an example of what I mean is, if someone came at me with a knife right now, I don't know how to defend myself. I'm running. I don't know how to defend myself. Sailors, they're not trained for combat, hand-to-hand combat. They're not, right? For me, I just shot pistols when I was in boot camp, and I shot a shotgun once, and that's it. And I don't think I'm ever going to hold a gun or any weapon type unless I'm on special duty or special watch ever again, right? But I was talking with a buddy of mine, and he was training with the Marines, and I've seen how Marines train, and that's intense. I've seen how they train, and that's very intense. And a buddy of mine was showing me just what the Marines, fighting style, and he was doing this crazy stuff on me. He was he got me in a chokehold, and he got me he could broke my arm in 2 seconds, or knock me out in 2 seconds. Put one hand on a special artery on my neck, and knock me out there on the spot. So he was trained with that when he was in the Army, when he was with the Marines. So their Marines and Army, they're very, very intense, right? For me, I'm not that type of person. I'm not a very physical type of guy. I'm more of hey, let's read a book, right? Let's talk this out with our words instead of our fist. So that was kind of the thought process and idea of decision making for me. And I do kind of wish I knew more about the Air Force. Looking back now, with what I knew, with what I know now, if I had to go back and if I had to choose again, I would definitely look more into the Air Force and possibly go into the Air Force. Not that, like right now, if I really, really wanted to, I could, do some paperwork and try to go to the Air Force, but I don't want to do that because, in my opinion, Navy is perfect for me because it's not too easy, it's not too difficult, it's not too physical. So, in my opinion, I like where I am right now, and so that was kind of the thought process, just sharing with you, and why I chose Navy above all other branches. And so, what I recommend and why I remake these videos is I want to inform you in terms of my opinion on the Navy's life, different things in terms of like Yoon's talk, in terms of like showing you what a little bit of the daily life is like. Because there wasn't a lot of YouTubers that made videos like I do, right? I tried my best to bring it to you every single day to give you that mentality of being consistent and sharing with you the contents, my ideas and thoughts of feelings in each and every single day, because you need to know that every single day, in my opinion, if you're making a major decision for the next 4, 5, or 6 years of your life, right? So I hope this video helped. And if you made it this long, 7 minutes, I'll put a special video in the links down in the description for you Navy personnels. And I highly recommend you check that out, right? I'll give you guys a little treat. I hope you guys have a great Navy day.